So, seventh graders, when we're talking about subtracting integers, what we're talking about is working with the negative signs. Okay? First of all, it's really important to remember that the sign in front of the number tells you whether the number is positive or negative, whether you should treat it as a positive number or a negative number. So the easiest way to think about subtraction is to think of it using a plus sign in front of the minus sign. And then to add positive and negative. So if you see a subtraction problem like 3 minus 5, if you put a plus sign in front of the negative 5, remember that this minus sign makes this 5 a negative. So then you can add, put a plus sign in front of the minus sign, and then add 3 plus negative 5. Okay? Anytime then you have subtraction, you change it to plus negative, or there's times when you change it to just addition, just plus. When you have a minus minus equals plus. Yes? Minus minus equals plus. This is multiply, this is plus. Yep. The minus signs cancel each other out. So when I see that, when I'm doing these problems, I just change this to a big plus sign. Connect the two minus signs, and then make it just plus. Okay? So 3 minus negative 5, go back to our original problem, 3 minus negative 5 becomes 3 plus 5. Or, insert a plus sign in the correct place. Negative 3 minus 5 is really negative 3 plus negative 5. Okay? Any questions on these concepts? Any questions on this? Let's go to your worksheet. The first one is just to, the first section is just practicing rewriting it as an addition problem first. So, I know it's hard to see up here, but I'll read it for you. It says negative 5 minus negative 3. Since the two minus signs are in a row, we change it to just plus. So the problem becomes negative 5 plus 3. And then write the answer. It's negative 2. Yeah, negative 2. You insert a plus sign. So it's negative 8 plus negative 6, which is negative 14. Number 3, two minus signs in a row, changes to just plus, so it's 3 plus 9. Number 4, negative 2, and then two minus signs in a row becomes just plus, so the answer is 5. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Questions on this? Let's go to the back side. Now, when you're doing these, I want you to put a plus sign in the right spot into the problem. So just like before, it says 8 minus 12, change it to 8 plus negative 12. So just put a plus sign in. Then find the answer. It's negative 4. Put a plus sign in front of the minus sign. So it's 13 plus negative 6, which is 7. Now it becomes really important when you get to ones with bigger numbers in them. Okay? For example, let's do number 6. 71 plus negative 123. This is where it's important to understand you have to find the difference of their absolute value. So when we do this, or if you do this on when you're math testing and you don't have a calculator available, here is what you should do. Since the negative 23 has a bigger absolute value, you write it with the bigger absolute value on top, and then, the absolute value of 123 minus the absolute value of 71, and then find the answer. So you do 3 minus 1, and then you have to regroup and make this 12 minus 7 equals 5. And then you answer it as negative 52. Why is it negative?
Because the bigger number is a negative.
Yeah, because the bigger number is negative. So the answer is going to be negative. Okay? So always do the bigger absolute value minus the smaller absolute value, and then make the answer positive or negative accordingly. Liv?
Would number 3 for the answer be 21? Or would it be good?
Well, since the two minus signs cancel each other out, there's no negatives left. So it'd just be 21. Yeah. Tate?
This is my version.
Okay. Number 19 through 24 says estimate the sum or difference. So then use estimation. Negative 57 is close to negative what? The nearest 10. Negative 60 plus, and then negative 98 is close to negative 100, which is negative 160. Okay. Allison.
From number 6. So when it's outside the parentheses, why do they have the parentheses still around the 1?
It's just because sometimes in algebra, there's parentheses and then a minus sign in front of it. Okay? I could give you, like an example would be, let's see. An example would be, like if you had negative 10 minus, and then parentheses, 18 minus 6. Okay? So what that, you'd have to find the answer to this, and then there would be a negative. So it would be negative 10, and then minus 12. There'd be parentheses around it. Those parentheses are just being used to force you to do this first. So at that point, the parentheses don't really have any effect on the problem. So you can just get rid of them. Negative 10 minus 12, which is just negative 10 plus negative 12, which equals negative 22. Yeah?
So instead of like doing, instead of doing this, like this way like that, and I did this way, I'm actually drawing out this way. And actually do this.
Yeah, you could rewrite it if you want to. Yep. Any other questions on this worksheet? All right. So finish this for tomorrow and study for a quiz.